All right, so like I've been thinking, got I got a I got a proposition for you, Sony. You know, if you want to repair your reputation, your 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 reputation that you've already shattered with the community. You know, I'm sure everybody feels the same way, and if you don't, you're probably a shareholder or something in the Sony company. You know, but I mean, they only got a few golden parachutes for a few people. You know, so if the ship is going down, I don't think you got a lifeboat to escape. But let me offer you a way to repair your reputation. You know, let's say if you were Sony, you had you had your fucking head so far up your behind. You know, you can't get it out. It's stuck in there. You're crab walking. You're crab walking. Your head stuck up there, and it just smells so great because you just been smelling your own farts the entire time. The just the entire moment. Like you can't even listen to anybody online telling you what you're doing is the wrong thing. You don't even want to consider people's opinions about what service you're providing or lack of service. Like what the hell? Since when did companies just become just the little schemes from Ed and Eddie? Like I don't understand when that happened. Like what kind of shit is that? You know, that cartoon sort of was like the first sort of introduction I had to the whole concept of scamming or making money or coming up with a scheme, you know. But it seems like every company's trying to follow some sort of model that's similar to that now. There's no integrity in none of this business shit. There's no integrity to either side of the situation. You know, the only people that are really getting exploited are the consumers, you know. And if you're a consumer, it's like there's no trust with the company and the consumer. There's only trust between the shareholders and the company. Like, since when was it about creating a product for a shareholder, you know, to be invested in, and rather than the damn consumer that's buying your product, the whole entire source of the money? Like it's absolutely backwards. And but anyway, my proposition to Sony is why don't you release old PS3, like a PS3 style system again? Like what the hell, what is stopping these people from releasing retro consoles? Not necessarily like a PS3 with a cell processor or whatever, but like just having like a system that's more aligned with those specifications, but more capable. Like maybe it comes with faster memory, just better hardware in general. But you know, it's just more akin to that generation of consoles. I'm talking. You could have developers develop PS3 games again, PS3 style games again with the same sort of graphics, uh, maybe more innovative gameplay, um, and just overall better fidelity. But you know, they can scale down the emphasis on graphics and just focus on the gameplay and get back to what actually made games great, rather than doing all this other stuff, constantly refining the graphics that we already have and just not really doing much with it. Like, what is the purpose of all that? it really is no purpose. It's just constantly scaling your games up in terms of graphics. Like, what about the gameplay? What about the features? What about the interactivity of the game? Like, that's where games truly shine. It's not about how many pores that are on a person's hand, like, or seeing the leather like material, or stitching in a piece of clothing, or like, I wish developers would focus more on just real time things like physics, or uh, AI, like artificial intelligence, in the sense that the world feels alive and the characters in the world interact with you. Like, I remember when Cyberpunk 2077 came out, I got it on PS4, because I didn't get a PS5 whenever it came out, because of some company, company by the name of Sony decided that it was a good idea to say, oh, screw the people who own their product already, the PS4, and let's just have people scalp our consoles, and we just keep making consoles and they keep scalping them and selling them at top dollar, and I'm not buying a fucking scalped PS5 or PS6 or whatever. I'm not buying scalped anything. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, but I just think it's funny that, they would do that, and not at least give the people who had bought a PS4, or had an account with PlayStation Network for the longest time, like their actual loyal customers who are still engaging with their platform. They could at least gave you first dibs and said, hey, we just sent you an email. We know you've been with our company playing our games for a long time, so we just want to give y'all, a courtesy email to be able to pre-order and acquire a PS5 first. It's like a fucking, like, where's the loyalty in it? Like, these companies are rogue as hell. They're not even companies anymore. Like, it's not good business at all, which is basically why I moved to fucking PC anyway. Like, why would I need to, be loyal to a company that's not even loyal to me? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. There's no reciprocity in it. It's a complete joke. And yeah, like, they could re-release a PS3, considering that, hardware is so much more expensive now. All this stuff is just ballooning in price and cost. Like, what's the problem with making games, say, like the one I'm playing right now, Far Cry 3? What if you made another Far Cry game that had the same graphical fidelity as this? There's nothing wrong with this. This game still looks great. You could add more features, more weapons. Like, it's basically just like a mod, but just more intentional, with more intent. It's like those GTA spin-off games, like Vice City Stories and all those. Like, they use all the same assets, just told a different story, because that's what the games were about. They're about stories. I wouldn't mind another Far Cry game like this. More simple, less systems, and I feel like simplicity is key. And that might be another thing for another day to talk about, but it's just simplicity in a video game goes a long way. And yeah, I really think Sony should, and Microsoft as well. Like, there's nothing wrong with uh simplified hardware, weaker hardware, especially if it's if it brings the developers together to be able to, create something that's more artistically inclined in terms of the style, uh, the features, and you don't have to make everything grounded in realism. Like, this game still is fun to engage with. You have to make a game engaging. You have to make somebody want to pick up the controller and actually play it instead of just look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's nice, like it's a fucking postcard. you know like, I don't play games to look at them, I play them to play them. Like, I'm not like, hey, let me I want to get home and I want to look at this game. I want to get home and I want to look at like the stitching on somebody's jeans and shit. Like, nah, bruh. It's absolute it's backwards. Like, I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to do something in the game and engage with it. Like, but anyway, yeah, Sony is ridiculous. They lost the plot. I was playing Infamous One the other day, and I haven't played that game in so long. Um, Infamous One is an absolutely amazing game. Infamous Two as well. I'm not really gonna go into detail about Second Son, even though I played it a little bit. It wasn't really all that great, but I mean, it did the job, I guess. First Light wasn't really all that great, but I didn't really play it that much. But I plan to play those, but that's besides the point. Infamous One is still a good game. You go and you play Infamous One. Say you get a PS3 or whatever, or you get it through some other means. You play Infamous One, and it's still one of the greatest superhero games out there. Superhero villain/villain games out there, like just like Prototype. And those games came out in like 2010. Those games came out around the same time as each other. So how can you say like finding something like that was simply lightning in a bottle when both of those games had come out toe to toe? It was just the atmosphere at the time. It was the climate of the industry. Like, that's just the amount of talent you had. You had two different studios that were able to produce two games that were just amazing, that could go toe to toe with each other and actually compete, you know? And I really think that's the issue here is the talent pool is just, it's withering away because everybody is just dependent on Unreal Engine and stuff. There's better things to engage with other than just one engine, or even like if they want to push Unreal Engine 5 so bad, or Unreal Engine 6, like at least have better features, have better features to make the engine a lot more compatible with current hardware, because that crap it just makes your system chug for no reason, rendering random things in the background that don't even need to be rendered. Like, if you really want to know how to like optimize a game, they need to like look at the methods Rockstar used for like Red Dead Redemption 2 that really just pushed the hardware. Even on the PS4, like the game ran pretty good. Like, if they start doing stuff like that, maybe Unreal Engine 5 would be great, but instead they want to render like 1,000 things off screen that you don't even see. So the game ends up looking like crap, running like crap, regardless of how many pores you can see on the person, on your character's hand or whatever. There's no cohesive vision for most of the games developed for that in that engine. But whenever you have actual cohesion, actual vision, and visuals that work together, um, well, like, it would be great. But it's kind of like art, like if you just scribble on a page, regardless of if you're using a whatever tool, you could be using the highest quality paintbrush, the highest quality uh what is that? Colored pencils and whatever. I'm talking like $100 sets, $200 sets, whatever, you could be using just the most expensive equipment, but if you don't know how to apply that to the paper and you don't use the right tools and the right materials in, together in unity to where it translates to something great, then it's gonna be crap. It's just not gonna look good. It won't come out great. Like that's why there's certain art pieces that you know somebody could make with a regular school pencil or even uh dirt or just some random material, but they know how to apply it and they know how to make it look great. There's something there. There's a vision. There's an artistic vision, and that's why I'm like with older games, like say like this for example, like there's a vision here. You know, you can actually understand what they were going for with this game. It's like you're in a painting. It's like you're in like a whole different universe, a whole different reality, and it operates on a whole different set of rules. It's not like you're grounded in our reality or an imitation of it. So it's just you can see everything that's just wrong with it. Because it's not trying to imitate reality. It's its own place. It's its own world. And that's why I just think that at the rate the hardware market is going, unless you want to sell $2,000 consoles, they need to look towards the past and re-release an old console, like a PS3 style game, maybe with like a PS3 style console with x86 architecture, simplicity, for the sake of making development faster again. You can apply different tools and strategies to develop games in that same visual style, but you can make them a lot quicker because you have the talent behind there. You have the team size, and you can actually craft a decent amount of games, a decent amount of stories to tell. And you can push out a lot more content that's playable and um capable, of standing with other games. If you have the talent in your team to create those games, like I feel like it's not necessarily an indie thing. It's not necessarily an indie market, but it could be something completely different. Like not necessarily even AAA. It's just like a retro future style of development, you know, just reinventing the wheel in a sense that you're taking older style of game and that older style of development, and you're compressing the cost, you're compressing the development time, and you're actually making games with more features, and that are easier to develop yet more complex. you know like these games aren't forever lost. You can look towards the past and understand a lot about the future, and looking towards the past of video game development and just what actually worked isn't a bad thing. You don't have to constantly progress in terms of, oh, we have to make this palm tree look better, we have to make the textures on the ground look better, you have to see the ant piles and the ants going and gathering materials whenever you step over them, uh in a game. Like, nah, fuck that. Like, just make a simple game, focus on the gameplay, you know, and focus on telling a story and crafting something that's cohesive and easy to run. Like, shoot, if you make a game like this or whatever, takes like 1 year to develop for tops, 1 year, 2 years, especially with the technology we have now, you know, and all the AI bullshit, you know, it is what it is, but 1 to 2 years tops, you can make something amazing, capture lightning in a bottle, and you don't have to make the next entry graphically superior to the other one. You can make it look exactly the same, but just tell a different story or just switch up the visuals a little bit. Doesn't have to be a complete revolution in style. And that's the thing, like this is an art style. This is a graphical style. This isn't like, oh, we just made this because of the limitations at the time. You know, they made this within the limitations. However, they styled it to look how they intended it to look. You know, that's my whole problem with remakes, and that's another story as well. Like, this is a visual style. They made the game look how they intended, simply with the tools that they had. And it wasn't like they needed the game to look a different sort of way, because in that case, you know, every game would want to look like reality if that was the true intention of progressing your graphics over and over and over and over again. You know, like remakes are really just a restylized game. It's not necessarily the superior version. You know, they just made the game different in a different way just to fit uh certain specifications of the time. But like I said, Sony, take my advice and you know, see where it gets you, or don't, and yeah, or don't, and see where it gets you. You know, it is what it is. Like,